Hey guys, this is Josh the Top Hat Gamer, and this week I'm reviewing Far Cry 4. The previous game in the Far Cry series rejuvenated the brand with a vibrant location and a memorable villain, becoming one of the best games of the last generation. Far Cry 4 has some big shoes to fill, so how well does it compare? Far Cry 4 holds up pretty damn well actually. Its story focuses on RJ Gale, an American returning to his ancestral home of Kyrat to spread the ashes of his recently deceased mother. Kyrat is in the middle of a rough period, however, and upon arrival he's caught in the conflict between the Royal Army and a rebel group known as the Golden Path. After being caught in a firefight, RJ is taken prisoner by Pagan Min, the tyrannical king of Kyrat. RJ is soon rescued by the rebel forces, however, and the rest of the game focuses on his efforts to weaken Pagan Min's stranglehold on his ancestral homeland. The narrative features a lot of interesting characters, from backpackers who constantly drug you, to a maniac who believes God's word is spread with guns, but no one really gets a lot of time devoted to them. The exception to this are the two leaders of the Golden Path. Sabal is constantly looking back and is focused more on tradition than winning the war against Pagan, whereas Amita is more concerned with the future of Kyrat and their people, and wants to change the Golden Path's traditions forever. The main campaign will often get you to choose between missions for one or the other, and while it's not strictly a moral choice system, the choices it does present you with always force you to think, as they're never right or wrong, just various shades of grey. The standout character is definitely Pagan Min, despite his lack of visual presence in the majority of the game. He's clearly insane, but he's not without his charm, and he's actually sort of likeable. He's played by, surprise surprise, Troy Baker, and it's not a stretch to hear some of his Arkham Origins Joker in his performance. He's utilised slightly better than Vaas, the previous Far Cry villain, as his presence is constant due to his often hilarious radio calls.
Look, no hard feelings about the crab rangoon. I know it's not to everyone's taste, but you'll be pleased to know I had the chef executed for his incompetence. Or was it his family we killed?
As far as its setting goes, Far Cry 4's mountainous region of Kyrat is just as interesting, if not more so, than 3's Rook Island. It's just as vibrant, and its snowy ridges provide a cool backdrop for your many adventures. Some missions even take you to the heights of the Himalayas for some truly amazing sights. Far Cry 4's beautiful setting hides a dangerous wilderness where everything and everyone wants to kill you, but you're not defenseless. The game gives you plenty of ways to survive in Kyrat, and its gameplay is accessible, yet satisfying. Far Cry 4 gives you a decent amount of freedom when tackling missions. Do you want to go in quiet, or would you rather go in guns blazing? Hell, how about riding a rampaging elephant through the enemy base? You're given these options and so many more, and you'll feel like a certified badass when you're playing the game. The basic shooting mechanics feel fine. You're given a wide array of guns to choose from, and combat with them feels fast, yet it has a credible sense of weight to it. Movement in general feels a little heavier than your standard FPS, and it feels satisfying, especially when you use that weight to land on an enemy while driving a knife through them. Speaking of knives, it's entirely possible to do the majority of Far Cry 4's missions in a stealthy fashion. It maintains the solid stealth system from Far Cry 3, and I'll gladly call it some of the best stealth in modern gaming. Silenced guns or the bow and arrow can be used to dispatch enemies from afar without raising an alarm, but if you're like me, then you'll make full use of the takedown system. Taking enemies down with your knife is visceral, and the ease with which you can chain into other takedowns is impressive. That said, you won't be able to do all these takedowns straight away. Far Cry 4 features an upgrade system that slowly but surely makes AJ a badass. You'll learn to do various takedowns, refine your firearm skill, or even increase the amount of punishment you can take, and it provides a nice sense of progression. To complement your growing skills, you're also able to craft various items to allow you to carry more guns, explosives, and other tools of death. The hunting mechanic returns so that you can collect the necessary materials to craft your upgrades, and while it's an entertaining way to upgrade your character, finding the right animals can get boring after a while. Far Cry 4's gameplay is varied, and it isn't limited to shooting and sneaking. You're given basic platforming skills that allow you to jump and climb on your environment, but the biggest addition in this department is the grappling hook. It's so useful given the verticality of Kyrat's landscape, and on top of that, it's fun to use. Whether you're scaling a wall or swinging from point to point, it's a welcome addition to the mix. There's also a wide range of vehicles that you can use to traverse the map or participate in races with, and while some might find the first-person camera annoying while driving, I find it's quite immersive. The vehicles all handle fairly well, but if you weren't a fan of the previous game's driving, then Far Cry 4 has an auto-drive function for you. While it's not a huge addition, it does make the new vehicular firefights that much easier to participate in. Also, there are elephants, just sort of there so you can smash up the place. Good fun though. Far Cry 4 is packed with content, and if you want value for money, this might be the game for you. On top of a sizable single-player campaign, you have a variety of side missions to undertake, including assassinations and races. There are also a ton of collectibles, some of which open up missions in the mythical Shangri-La, where you get an invisible tiger spirit ally and a magic bow. Seriously, I can't stress how much content there is here. When you get down to it, Far Cry 4 features solid gameplay, an interesting setting, and some very unique characters. While few of those characters are utilised well, its story is still entertaining, and it's the game's unpredictable, memorable moment-creating gameplay that will keep you coming back for more, as well as its ridiculous amount of content. Far Cry 4 gets the Top Hat Gamer rating of excellent. If you liked Far Cry 3, this is more of the same, but better, and if you're new to the series, its impressive visuals and solid stealth shooter gameplay will have you exchanging in-game moments with friends for quite some time.